Well, think tank official Gal Luft has been indicted by the Department of Justice. House Republicans were hoping to interview him on the information he provided that he said the FBI, about the family's Chinese business dealings, the Biden family. Luft was arrested in Cyprus in February. The Southern District of New York unveiled the charges last night. They include failing to register as a foreign agent, arms trafficking, and making false statements to prosecutors. I spoke with Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson about Luft's credibility on Sunday Morning Futures. Sunday, watch.
He was consulting with CEFC, the same Chinese company connected to the Communist Party that was paying the Bidens millions of dollars. When he heard that Joe Biden was going to be running for president, that alarmed him because he knew how compromised Joe Biden would be. So he met with 2 prosecutors from the Southern District of New York and 4 FBI agents in Brussels for 2 days in March of 2019. He's got a wealth of information, but they never followed up on that meeting. Instead, they arrested him in Cyprus to silence him.
Joining me right now is South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. She is a member of the House Oversight, Armed Services, and Veterans Affairs Committees. Congresswoman, it's good to see you again. Thanks very much for being here. What is your reaction to this indictment of Gal Luft?
Well, no one should be surprised here. I don't trust the DOJ or the FBI. They are trying to silence our witnesses. This is a way to do that. He deserves to testify before the Oversight Committee. We have a lot of questions. We want to know why the evidence he brought forth to the FBI in that Brussels meeting in 2019 was not followed up on. And the irony here is not lost on anyone. Charging him for failing to register as a foreign agent. Well, I have a question for the DOJ and the FBI this morning. What was Hunter Biden doing with millions and millions of dollars from foreign countries advocating and lobbying on their behalf? I mean, really, this is obscene that they're not charging Hunter with the same crimes they're charging this guy.
So you're saying that Hunter Biden should have registered as a foreign agent. He did all of these deals with these foreigners, and he's once again skating on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen tens of millions of dollars from foreign countries where he was assisting them, was never registered as a foreign agent. And that's why these witnesses are so important that have information, have evidence to bring it forward to the Oversight Committee. And here, if this is just another stonewalling tactic by the FBI and the DOJ, we've seen this over and over again. And this is just days after the bombshell report that people read about the potential evidence he had. He ought to testify before the Oversight Committee. We deserve to find that information because the FBI and DOJ keep blocking us from this investigation.
Yeah, but does this shut that down? I mean, let's face it, Congresswoman, now he's indicted. Number one, what does this mean in terms of any interview that you want to get? Is this completely shutting down this important source and informant for the Oversight Committee? And number two, obviously, this is not going to encourage others to come forward. What does this do to your ability to get more whistleblowers?
Well, it certainly slows the investigation down and will prevent him from testifying before the Oversight Committee. Fortunately, there are other whistleblowers that have other pieces of information. But, I mean, my God, we have got to get the DOJ and the FBI to come before the Oversight Committee. This can't continue. The way that they have stonewalled and blocked us from our investigation, essentially blocking the American people from knowing what was really going on. The American people ought to know if Joe Biden was for sale and if his family was for sale, if Hunter Biden was the middleman between all these countries and Joe Biden as president or vice president. The American people ought to know the truth in this thing.
Yeah, they ought to, but it looks like you've just gotten shut down. I mean, the Department of Justice also moved yesterday to prevent the release of internal communications from their Hunter Biden probe. As a Fox News digital analysis of Obama-era emails reveal extensive ties between Hunter Biden and nearly a dozen senior-level Biden administration aides, Congresswoman. So they're blocking and tackling at every turn. What does this mean for any future of this investigation?
Well, we have to do whatever we can, regardless of what the FBI and DOJ are attempting to do. I have great faith in our chairman, James Comer. Every time we've been blocked, we've we've certainly tried to find and have found a way to get around it and get to that information. And we're going to rely on him and his leadership to be able to do that on what next steps might be, so we can, get other whistleblowers to come forward. What we believe is happening here is that the FBI and DOJ received this evidence and then did nothing. Maybe there are no emails because they didn't do any investigation. We ought to know that as well. But we're going to work hard to try to figure this out. We don't have a lot of time, but we are going to work as hard as we can and deliver as much evidence as we can to the American people so that they can decide whether or not Joe Biden should be in prison or any member of his family as well.
Wow. Congresswoman, all right, we'll be watching the investigation. Thanks very much. Nancy Mace joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.